Hello YouTube and welcome. Firstly, thank you so much for the overwhelming feedback I've had on my first video. Although I had to delete several Viagra comments, everything was extremely positive. So thank you so much for those of you who liked the video and subscribed. If you didn't like the video, well that's fine. So for this video, I want to run you through how to create a Azure Sentinel workbook from scratch. So grab your coffee or your whiskey, and as always, it's gonna get juicy. Okay, so for this video, I want to run you through how to create a basic Azure Sentinel workbook from scratch to get some really insightful information from your data that's sat within Log Analytics. So for this video, I'll be focusing on network security groups for visualizing network data security. Firstly, let's talk about what a workbook actually is. So previously called dashboards, Azure Sentinel workbooks provide rich data visualization from all of your connected data sources within Sentinel. These workbooks are the same technology that Azure Monitor have been utilizing for quite a while now. So Sentinel actually provides you with a number of templates right out of the box for you to use. A lot of the data connectors that are used to ingest the data normally come with their own workbook. So if we navigate into the workbooks pane within Sentinel, we can see that there's a template section here. So let me find, let's say, Azure AD audit logs. Okay, you can see right here that the required data types for you to actually visualize any form of data in here are the audit logs. So if you don't have audit logs data connected, you're not really going to see much because it uses the queries which you create in KQL on the back end to then put these into a visualized format. So if we scroll down to a Barracuda, so required data types here are common security log and syslog. A better mobile threat defense, this is a new one. So you require these data types. Cisco, again, common security log. Checkpoint, I think that's common security log as well. So you kind of get the idea of what's required right now. So for this workbook, I want to see network security group information across my subscriptions. So let's start with first creating a brand new workbook. So we're going to come up here, we're going to click add. Firstly, let's get rid of all of this crap here. So I'm just going to click edit up here, and then I'm going to come across and I'm just going to hit remove, yes, remove, yes. So hopefully you've got this sort of screen here with this little owl thing. Is that an owl? I have no idea. And the first thing we want to do is kind of set up our parameters. So our parameters are going to be for looking at subscriptions, workspaces, and a time range. So you want to see network security groups from a subscription A and whatever workspace B, and for the past 30 days. So this is where we come up and set our parameters. So we're going to click add down here and then go add parameter. I'm going to change this style to standard, and then I'm going to click add parameter. So the first parameter is going to be subscription. Now with our parameter type here, there's a whole array of different parameter types, but we're interested in subscription picker. Now to get data, we actually want our data to be from all subscriptions. So once we've got this, we're going to click save. Then we're going to click add parameter again, and we're going to go workspace this time. And then in the parameter type, we're actually going to go resource picker. So this is obviously required as well. And then the get data from workbook resource, workspace resource. And then we're going to click save. I should actually go back into subscription and make sure that's required parameter as well. And now we're going to click add another parameter, and this is going to be time, not time range, time range. And then in the drop down, we should have time range picker. Now we don't have to leave this as required, but I am going to give it a required time range because I don't want to see data from different times. If I want to look at something, I want to specify exactly the time range which I want to see. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and save that, and then I'm going to click done editing. So now hopefully you should be left with three little parameters here: subscription, workspace, and time range. In the drop down, you can see I've got my Visual Studio Enterprise, my CFMS workspace, and a time range which is there for you. Now we're actually going to get stuck into the juicy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, we're going to click add, and then we're going to go add query. Now the first thing that we need to change on this query is the data source to use the Azure Resource Graph. So using the Azure Resource Graph will give us the ability to scale across multiple subscriptions within your environment. At the minute, this is kind of defaulted to my subscription, so I'm just going to unpick this, and I should have subscription parameter up here, so that's fine. Now we can start architecting our query. So for start, we're going to go resources, and then we're going to do the pipe, if I can find it, where type equals, and then in quotes, Microsoft.network/network security groups. Okay, and then we're going to go project. Oh man, my typing is not it today. Project, and then we're going to go NSG name. I'm just going to rename this NSG name because I don't want to see the ID, I want to see the name. I want to see location, and I want to see resource group and the subscription ID. Okay, so what we can do here is select our Visual Studio, and bang, there we go. We've got NSGs covering this subscription at the minute. So there's quite a few in there. Okay, so this is our first query. So let me just scroll down here. I'm gonna click done editing. So this is gonna be our top query, which we can see. This is going to give our first visual representation into how many NSGs are within this subscription, this workspace, and the time range doesn't really matter at the minute. Now, the next query, I want to be able to see when an NSG was created, updated, or modified. So for this, we're going to be using the log analytics engine, not the resource graph. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with Azure activity, because it's an activity when it happens, and we're going to go where category equals, and then add administrative. Okay, and then we're going to go where operation name value starts with, give me some IntelliSense, lovely stuff, Microsoft.network/network security groups. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is going to copy and paste that, and then for this I'm just going to go security rules at the end, the capital R, because it's case sensitive and KQL loves to have a fit when you don't type in the right characters. So summarize count, and then we're going to go by activity, activity status, operation value. Wait, no, it's actually name value. I got it wrong. Name value, and then activity sub status. I think that's right. And then resource ID, of course. Who actually did it? And time generated. So the time range again can be time range up here. Resource ID is just errored then because I didn't have a comma. Workspace can be our workspace parameter. And subscription, what's happening here then? There actually isn't a subscription. Okay. Have I selected? because I've got the time range up here as 5 minutes. So let me do the past 30 days. Let me scroll down. There we go. That was quite concerning. So as you can see here, we've got some NSG rules, which have been obviously updated and created. So we can see here that the NSG Cloud IT Pro has a terrible rule. This was actually generated on the 11th of the 11th. We have another rule which has been created, quite possibly the worst rule. Again, this is not ideal. We've got some that have been created today to allow 3389, ones which allow port 80. So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see when when network security groups have been created and when rules have been updated or modified. Okay, so let's click done on this. Now for our last query, let's get a graph going or something for our network security groups. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, we're going to click add, and then we're going to use the Azure activity again, and we're going to go where category equals administrative. I could have just copied and pasted this above, but I'm at the point of no return now. I'm doing it. Operation name value. Christ, I always forget this. And then starts with, and then Microsoft dot network forward slash. Oh Christ, network security groups. There we go. And then we want to summarize or spell it incorrectly. Count. And then by, let's have operation. Let me just copy this because that was a bit of a pain in the ass to use, to be honest. Operation name value, and we want the activity substatus or substatus, as if you're American or English. Now let's run this query a second. Okay, so we've got some stuff going on here. Now let's change the visualization to a bar chart. Okay, now we're talking. Right, okay, so although these values are 5, this doesn't mean that 5 rules have been updated. Let me just clear this up. That's quite misleading. Because the data we are querying is from the Azure activity log, this could be various operations performed within inside the resource. So it'll do like a HTTP request, which will start, create, update. Maybe a policy is being applied to this as well. So don't think like when we set this up, holy crap, there's 5 rules that have been updated. It's best to check it out first. Again, this is slightly misleading. Maybe doing some more intelligent query analytics, you might be able to pull the exact number out, or maybe see which one. But again, we've got the operation name value here, which is doing it right. So you can see it start, accepted, and succeeded. So that's what's cracking here. Okay, so I'm just gonna see what else we've got here. Let's have a line chart. Okay, line chart's not gonna work. Pie chart. Oh, that's kind of weedy. Scatter. No, that's not happening. Time chart. That's not happening either. Tiles. Tiles is it's really boring. Let's have unstacked. Okay, this is going to be cool. This is fine. What we're going to do is we're gonna use this. This is going to be our visualization. Seeing what's going on. So we've got the right rules. We've got actually that's for actual network security group itself, and then we've got the rules, and then we've got the deletions here. So one deletion. I think that's probably a legitimate integer value for one. But again, don't take it as gospel. Always do your research. So what we're going to do is we're going to click done editing here. And that's it. No, I'm joking. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some extra pieces to this. So I'm going to click add, and I'm going to go text. First I want to move this up again. I want to move this right to the top. I want to give us a nice header. So when we first open this workbook, it's gonna look nice and sexy. You know, you don't just want to be seeing data. So with most of the workbooks, there are markdown values. So this workbook will not spell, will show you network security group information across your subscriptions. Okay, and with Markdown, you can actually do some clever HTML here. So I'm just going to see if this is going to work with an image source equals I actually can't remember this address, so I'm just going to grab it over here. So this is from my blog, obvious. And then we're going to go style equals, and then it's going to be 50 pixels with a width of, Christ, I can't remember now, 100 px. Is that going to be enough? Let's assume so. I think we're missing some quotes here. Yeah, we are. Let's just put that one in. That's lovely stuff. And let's do a break. Oh, we've got it. Let's preview this actually. Yeah, that's clearly not worked. Let's come back up here. So we've got the style pixels 100. Do we need to do this? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Cool. Yeah, I do remember my very first early HTML days. So now that we've clicked done editing, we can see, you know, this workbook will show you network security group information across your subscriptions. Nice little logo here. And then we can put some headings across as well. So we're going to go add, and then we're going to go text. We're going to move up again. I don't think there's the ability to drag and drop this yet, but you know, things will come. You know how fast Azure moves. So let's move this up. So this one can be, this is a list of all NSGs for short across subscriptions. Now we're going to click done, and then we're going to do another one. Let's go, there's this one, yeah. So let's move up, and this should be it now. So this is all NSG modifications, rules, Jesus Christ, rules, deletions, and creations. Lovely stuff. Let's do this one then. Okay, so visualization. I spelled visualization wrong, haven't I? What is wrong with me? Visualization. Wow, I'm really not on it today, am I? Move up. Okay. This is the visualization. Okay, so now that this is all cooking with gas, we've got everything that we want to see. If we want to see stuff from the last 5 minutes, obviously nothing's been updated. The last hour, nothing's been updated. The last 12 hours, what do we got? Yeah, we got some juicy info now. So this has been obviously created. So we've got that flexibility now to choose different subscriptions, the different workspaces, if information is held from an NSG in a different workspace. And we've got the time range. We can see a list of NSGs across all subscriptions. We can see the NSG modifications, rule deletions, and creations. And then we've got this really high quality visualization at the bottom, you know, to give you a feel for creating, you know, workbooks. So now we're going to click done editing. We're going to hit save, and we're just going to call this NSG workbook 000, and then we're just going to click save. And that is how you create an Azure Sentinel workbook from scratch. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, well, you know, that's just fine. Please subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your nan. Cheers.